Good morning, this is Jeff with Sewer Tech Northwest. Today we're at property address 4260 Southwest Charming Way here in Portland. We're located at the front of the home here currently. We've got a lot of cleanouts to go through. Now if it gets confusing at all, just refer to the diagram because we're going to be scoping for about 4 different cleanouts on this one. Currently we're at the front left corner of the house, straight out from I think it's the master bedroom on the left side of the home. Going through 4-inch ABS cleanout. And we're checking the overall condition and serviceability of the sanitary sewer line. And we do have water running. And we're going to take this thing out here to where it Y connects together. And then we have a main clean out in the middle of the property or the front yard that we're going to do a lot of scoping from. We're going to scope back towards the house from that as well as away from it. Looks like we've got some standing water here. Doesn't look too terribly significant. It's very clean, and we'll have a better look at that when it's all drained out at the end. And more than likely, those spots there are going to drain out to around 1/4 of an inch is all. And lines of this length, I typically look at a little differently. I'm a little bit more lenient on them. The length of it looks like about a 250 to 300 foot line. Whenever you have a property, unless it has a very hard sloping, and there's one of our Y connections, a very hard sloping yard. Once the line goes over about 110, 120 feet, it's very, very likely to have, about 90% of them will have bellies in them. And the length alone, if you're not being careful, can cause debris buildup. We don't have specially designed toilets to push debris out 300 feet versus about a 60-foot standard sewer line. So they typically cause debris to collect more easily. So they're the kind of line that you almost want to look at them like a septic system. You just need to be mindful as to what's going down in, because when you flush that toilet, it takes many flushes to get the debris from point A to point B. So folded toilet paper is the only thing that should be going down the toilet. And we're going to stop here and reel back. We're going to move over to some other Y branches. And we're going to do a little bit of overlapping here because there's so many cleanouts. Everything we just scoped there, though, looks great. We've got some minor standing water. Each of those little bellies there is only maybe 3 or 4 feet long, and we'll have about 1/4 inch of water. We've got a lot of water running down the line right now, which is exaggerating those bellies like crazy. And this Y connections here, I believe, were the RV dump, and there's another clean out at the front of the main house, but kind of on the right side of it. And we've got 2 branches that come out of the main house, and then there's another RV dump branch over by the garage. So a spot like this, again, I'll show you how short this belly is, and we have water running full bore inside there. A spot like this, it's only about 3-4 feet long with this much water with the sink running full bore. All drained out is only going to have about 1/4 inch of water in it, which is not significant enough to do a repair on, especially for a line this length. The bellies that worry me on lines of this length are the ones that are approaching 3-4 inches of standing water without anything running. Those are the ones that are really problematic. You just can't expect total perfection on lines this length. It's nearly impossible to guarantee that 300 feet of ground is not going to move at all. But so far, I'm very pleased with how that looks there. So that branch there is looking good, has good flow, and the pipe is in good condition. Alrighty, we are now over at the right side of the front of the house. We have this branch here. As far as I can tell, the branch we just scoped there, I think, is really just servicing the master bedroom on the left side of the house. Alright, same thing here. We're going to advance this out here about 100 feet, then we're going to reel on back in and we'll start moving to the other cleanouts. If at some point here we get a lot of junk and debris in the line, we'll drain it out completely. Unless that happens, we're going to keep the water running here. Another belly there, very slight. Again, we have sinks running on full blast here. Now, when we hit a spot of standing water where it's barely at an inch of water with it running, that will drain out generally to around 1/4 of an inch, which is not concerning. It's when you've got 2, 3, 4 inches of standing water without any water running, those are the real big problems. And again, for a line this length, typically look at these a little bit differently than the average, 50 to 70 foot sewer pipe. So we just hit another clean out there. That's tying into the top of the line. So we're going to stop there and reel on back in because we're going to move up to that clean out and continue scoping out from that point. And everything we just scoped there looks great. There was about a 2-foot spot where we had a little bit of standing water. Nothing concerning. It's a very, very clean sewer line. And generally, depending on how many people are moving into the home, if you have 4 or 5, 6 people moving in here, like I said, a line this length with no standing water in it at all, or no problems at all, still is prone to debris buildup. If you're putting things down there that shouldn't be going down the line, paper towels, cleaning wipes, flushable wipes, tampons, cooking oil, stuff like that. It's very difficult for the line to drain out because of the length of it. So I always recommend re-scoping the line at the year mark to get a baseline for how the line is handling your living habits. Every household's different. Some have lots of kids, some don't. No, it's worth looking at with a line this length. Like I said, you kind of want to look at them like a septic system. Alright, and then we're going to reel back in here just a moment. We're going to move over to the RV dump. I believe that's what that is. But all the pipe we just scoped there out to about 89, 90 feet is in good shape and functioning properly at this time. And that right there stuck to the top of the pipe is just like a piece of toilet paper. Alright, now we're going to move over here to the garage area where we have the RV dump. And then after that, we're going to move out to the clean out in the middle of the front yard and start scoping out to the street from there. Okay, right here is the Y connection where it just connected onto the line that we just scoped on the right side of the house. So we're going to stop right here. And now we're going to move out to the middle of the yard. And by that point, all the lines are converged together. Looks like we got some minor standing water in this pipe. Nothing concerning. With RV dumps, though, when you dump whatever's going down there with a line of this length, you want to put a hose down this thing or keep a sink running inside for a while so you can flush all that stuff through. That's the only problem with RV dumps is they're often connected in a spot where you don't have secondary water coming through all the time, like people running sinks and showers. So you want to put your hose down here or leave a sink running inside for probably 10 to 15 minutes just to flush all the junk down the line. But that's looking good there, very clean, has good flow, and all the pipes in good condition. All right, we're out at the secondary clean out. Straight out from the house here in the yard. It's covered up by an oil fill cap. And we've already made it to this particular spot here. We did from the second point of access we went through. The first one we went through, Y connected onto the line, so we didn't get to this point from the very first point of access on the left side of the house. We made it to this point from the second point of access, just to, in case that's confusing at all. We've scoped all the pipe out at this point though. Alright, looks like we've got yet another clean out, which I think we're going to move to so we have enough length. Now we're going to try and run it all the way, the rest of the way out, but we do have another clean out in the middle of the driveway. Alright, we're going to go open that clean out up there. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to get my 200-foot camera out. We're just going to re-scope all that again here. That clean out looks like it'll be kind of a beast to get open. Well, for being a line this length, it is in impeccable condition. It's very, very rare to see lines this long. With the way this property is set up here, we don't have a big giant hill leading down to the street. There's a slight decline towards the road, but it's very minimal. Usually lines of this length are pretty terrible looking. And for the length it is, it's absolutely spotless clean. Alrighty, we're just about back to the clean out here. So we're going to get the long camera out, and we'll start that up once I'm about 80-90 feet down the line. I'll turn the recorder back on, so we're not scoping the same stuff over and over again. But everything we just scoped there is looking good. Draining well, all the pipes in good shape. Again, we've got every now and then some really minor spots of standing water, but none of which at this point are anywhere near worth repairing. Alright, unfortunately here, I just got out my main camera, my long one, and just kinked the stinking thing on this. I located my camera head where we stopped with my shorter camera, right at the edge of the roadway. Unfortunately here, this last clean out will not open up. Someone's cross-threaded the cap onto it, so there's going to be about 15-20 feet of pipe here I cannot scope, unfortunately. But everything else we've scoped is in great condition, has good flow, and is functioning properly at this time.